But first, let's get to the results of last night and where do we go from here? We'll start off with the Philadelphia 76ers. No Embiid, no problem. Man, the Magic are just falling apart here at the end of the season. 109-97. That was the final score yesterday. So the 76ers cover as 1.5-point home favorites and also clinch the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference. Will take on the Boston Celtics in round one. Tyrese Maxey with a nice game for Philly. 31 points. VJ Edgecombe, 19 points and 11 assists in the game. Here's Nick Nurse on moving on and Jamal Mosley on where the Magic go from here.
What does it mean to you to make the playoffs after the way last season went?
Yeah, it's good. I think, like I told the guys, I'm proud of them. There's many times this year I've told them I'm proud of them for kind of continuing to pick themselves up and keep playing, right? And this was another example tonight with some stakes and some pressure. But I think, again, we played extremely hard. I thought we made a lot of winning plays. And of course, to get in the playoffs, it's kind of go back to the opening press conference of the year. I said, we got a really, really big hole to dig out of, and we want to get in the tournament somehow. Wasn't pretty. Wasn't easy. It wasn't pretty, but we're here now, and now we got to see what we can do with it.
You mentioned Friday your backs are up against the wall now. It's going to go home with this elimination game. You've been saying taking it one game at a time this whole time, but
this is literally it. This is it. One game at a time, and this is the one game that we've got to make sure we go home and take care of. And our fans are going to be there ready to go, supporting us, and as we make sure we take care of home.
Biggest game of the year for the Magic coming up on Friday night. We'll see what happens. Meanwhile, how about the Golden State Warriors? They took care of business last night against the Los Angeles Clippers, who are going home. No more playoffs for the Clippers. Steph Curry dialed it back, 35 points last night, 4 assists. Porzingis also had 20 and 5. Believe it or not, Golden State was down 13 in the fourth quarter. They came all the way back to win, which certainly has Steve Kerr happy they're moving on, and Ty Lue reflects on the disappointing Clippers season.
I just told them it was, with all the wins we've ever had here, with a lot of them with a lot more at stake, this is right up there. Just because, of where we are and our age and our, the decline of our performance this year, the injuries, it was just a display of, just a beautiful display of competitive will, and this is why Steph came back. So everybody out there who thought Steph should have taken the rest of the year off, this is what he does. This is who he is. If he can compete, he's going to compete, and it was just incredible to watch.
What's your level of anger, disappointment, frustration, or is there a word that you can use to describe what happened?
Pissed off. Yeah, we had a game in our hands and some silly plays, not doing the right thing execution-wise. And, to be up 13 with 10 minutes, to go in a game, we got to finish that game. So I'm disappointed about that.
Clippers are going to have to answer a lot of questions this coming off season. All right, so if there's a question as to who is eligible for the NBA's MVP, that was put to rest yesterday, or this morning actually. Luka Doncic and Cade Cunningham are both eligible for the NBA's most valuable player and also eligible for making the All-NBA teams, which could put some money back in their pocket. I guess you could still vote on the NBA's MVP, but I thought that was over with. I thought you couldn't vote on the MVP once the playoffs began, so I guess there's still a couple of days remaining on that. Neither of these guys, by the way, are going to win the MVP, but just a nice thought here to put some extra money in their pockets for winning all NBA despite not playing the minimum 65 games. Okay, so the state of Kentucky going back and forth as to whether or not they're actually going to push through this new law, which would prohibit anybody who's 18 years old to be able to bet on sports. They want to move this thing to 21. The Kentucky Senate and House overrode the governor, and that will raise the sports betting veto up to 21 years old. So as of right now, it does look like within 24 hours for the bluegrass state, you're going to have to be 21 and also potentially set a 15% tax rate for both fixed odds horse racing and daily fantasy sports at all, which could change the landscape of horse racing in Kentucky, like the Kentucky Derby and everything else. So stay tuned. Kentucky making a lot of changes in terms of sports. All right, now the National Football League, as of right now, we still have months to go until we get to the NFL's preseason in August. But right now, it does appear that there's a really good chance we're going to see some replacement officials coming this summer and into the fall. The NFL has informed clubs that the league's officiating staff has begun onboarding replacement refs and will have training sessions and they will attend off-season practices. You know, those OTAs, that could start as soon as June 1st. Wow, this could actually happen in the National Football League. Mixed messages, meanwhile, coming on the golf course. This is coming from LIV Golf. Yesterday, there was a report that it could be the end of LIV Golf. LIV Golf saying yesterday this is not the case. They have some additional funding, and they're going to continue on. But usually when there's smoke, there's fire. We could end up seeing the end of LIV Golf if this does come to fruition. But naturally, they say all is well, and the tournaments will roll on, at least for the time being. You know who else is rolling on? That's Shohei Ohtani. He did not hit yesterday, but he did pitch, and that was enough. The Dodgers beat the Mets 8-2. Ohtani, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 10 strikeouts against the Mets, who have now lost 8 straight games. The Dodgers swept the Mets. My goodness, what is going on with the Mets these days? We know what's going on with the Dodgers. It's Ohtani pitching and hitting when he can. They gave him a day off yesterday. After the game, he said, hey, I could have used the day off, and he did pretty well on the mound.
Shohei, what was your reaction when Dave said that he wanted you to only pitch today?
ピッチャーだけって言われた時の反応、リアクションは。
ちょっとびっくりはしましたけど、はい、チーム的としてもいい戦略というかじゃないかなとは思うので、もちろんデッドボール当たってピッチングの方に専念してほしいって言われてたので、そこにまず集中しようかなと思ってました。
After getting hit by a pitch, Doc thought that it was a good idea for me and for the team to just focus on the pitching side of the game. And so I was a little bit surprised, but it made sense hearing what he had to say.
Surprising is this just, we all see the talent in this room since the spring training over the offseason. Just what is the level of surprise that this has happened?
Yeah, it's surprising, but you go through these things. Maybe this is a bit extreme, probably, but it doesn't help. Facing two of the best in the game the last 2 days. You could be swinging the bat well and run into those guys, and they're kind of like a buzzsaw. But yeah, I don't really got much to say other than can't explain it, and we'll keep on working to figure it out.
Tough days right now for Bo Bichette and the Mets. All right, let's get to the rest of the results. The Padres came down from 4 down in the ninth to beat the Mariners 7-6. So they end up picking up a much-needed victory there. Speaking of which, the Brewers took care of the Blue Jays 2-1. Mike Trout homered for the Angels, but the Yankees ended up winning by a final of 5-4 over the Tampa Bay Rays. And the Chicago Cubs win as road dogs. They scored 10 runs yesterday. Shota Imanaga, 11 strikeouts as they beat the Phillies by a final score of 11-2. Also, the Tigers won their 5th game in a row. They beat the Twins 2-1. The Rays dominated the White Sox. And how about this kid that you see right there, Sal Stewart, 2 3-run home runs. The Cincinnati Reds.